Hey, it's Holden here, Run Pure Sports, Run Pure Bets, with my early week look at the wide receiver position. While you're at it and you're trying to figure out, who is this man? Why is there a Brandon Marshall poster in the background? What's up with his hair today? Well, while you're doing that, just hit the like button and everything will be fine. All your hopes and dreams will come true. Make sure you check out the other positions too. We got QB, we got running back, tight end will be along this week as well. Follow me on Twitter at Holden Radio. Let's get into the wide receivers. The pool right now is not that big for me. Kind of just popped up. And as the week moves on, there'll probably be 2 or 3 more guys that we add to this list. But here's what I got so far. And again, I'm not messing with the Minnesota or Tennessee or the Steelers with this COVID mess right now. I want to see how it plays off. And you'll get more in-depth looks on the other shows that we do later in the week. But let's start with Miko Hopkins against Carolina. Can you get Kamara and Hopkins in your DraftKings lineup? It's always possible to do it on FanDuel. If you can, great. 8.5 on DK, 8.7 on FanDuel. Most yards in the NFL as a receiver, 356. Most targets with 37. He's tied with Keenan Allen. I mean, he should shred Carolina, and that's it. Let's just move on. Play him. Lockett and Metcalf. Okay. Option 1 and 1A. So my strategy last week was Lockett on DraftKings, which worked out marvelously, especially in my cash games. And then it was DK on FanDuel. Lockett outperformed him, but you get why I'm saying this, because Lockett's the big play guy with the touchdown equity, or I should say Metcalf is the big play guy with the touchdown equity. Not saying that Lockett isn't, but just a different type of player. I think Metcalf's more explosive. So let's dig into this here. 29 targets, 24 catches for Lockett. 22 targets, 12 catches for Metcalf. So the volume is not there and the catches are not there. They're also not as high percentage throws as you're going to see to Lockett. 7K on DK is Lockett. That's where you play him. 6.9 on FanDuel is Metcalf. That's where you play him. Metcalf is second in air yards. This is why he's the big play guy. Second in air yards. He's got 372. That's astronomical. I mean, they're going up against a team in Miami, worst in adjusted fantasy points against air yards. Forget average depth of target. Forget about it. Either one of these guys. You know that I'm going to have a stack this week with Russ and his 2 wide receivers. That's just book it right now. That's what needs to happen. You got to have something from these guys. They're just too good in this matchup. It's amazing. Tyreek Hill, 6.9 on DK. Interesting. I didn't even write down his FanDuel salary. He's going up against New England. So he's got 6 targets, 11 targets, 6 targets. Not bad. 3 rushes last 2 games. Miko Hardman, Monday Night Football. He's kind of coming up here, folks. Hardman's 4.3 on DraftKings, 5.2 on FanDuel. If you're taking a shot in a tournament and you're pairing Mahomes with somebody, I think you could pair him with Kelsey and Hill. You can pair him with Kelsey and Hardman. You can pair him with Hill and Hardman. I mean, there's so many different combinations with this team. I'm fine with both plays, to tell you the truth. I think they're both fine. Diggs this week against the Raiders, Stefan Diggs. He's 3rd in completed air yards. So when Allen goes deep to Diggs, he catches it more than anybody except for 2 other guys. Vegas allowing just 151 receiving yards per game. That's 10th in the NFL. Their rookie cornerback, Damon Arnett, probably going to IR. Nevin Lawson's going to step in there. I'm not worried about this. Josh Allen to Diggs is right up there in the top 5 combos in the National Football League right now. They really are so dangerous, and their skill sets just match up perfectly. A deep ball thrower to a deep ball speedy receiver. Rams wide receivers against the Giants. This is the next one. Cooper Kupp, 6.7 DK. Robert Woods, 6.3 DK, $400 cheaper if you do the math. 7.2 for Kupp on FanDuel, 6.7 for Woods on FanDuel, $500 less. Now, I keep banging the drums. Why are we playing Kupp over Woods? Last week, Kupp had the better game. Not too much of a better game, but a better game. Kupp on the season, so he's more expensive on both sides, and he's just there. He's got 2 more targets, just 2 more targets than Robert Woods. He does have 5 more catches, but with Woods, you're getting over a third of a point, 0.35 points per route. That is amazing. He's 5th in yards after the catch at 149. I just think he's the more explosive player. Kupp has a couple of red zone targets. He's he's better. 0.78 fantasy points per route. That's pretty amazing. 9th in yards after the catch. So again, I think it just comes down to salary with these two guys. I always seem to lean Robert Woods. The numbers say, you can go Kupp one week, Woods the other. I think they're both in the pool against the Giants, though. Cowboys wide receivers against Cleveland. Amari Cooper here. 3rd in targets, 3rd in catches, 267 air yards. That's 4th. So he's the number 1 target if you want to spend up. Gallup last game, he's coming off a monster game. He's now priced up more than CD Lamb. Lamb is my choice this week for wide receivers. You got to do a Dak stack. You can go Dak Lamb. You can go Dak Gallup. You can go Dak Cooper. You can just do an onslaught. Dalton Schultz is in there. So I think you're going to be playing a little roulette from time to time with the Cowboys receivers, but I think all of them have enough of a floor that they're cash viable. The real trick's going to be in GPPs. Allen Robinson, did you know with Mitchell Trubisky, only 47% of his targets were catchable in weeks 1 and 2. That according to Pro Football Focus. I said coming into the year that Allen Robinson is a top 5 wide receiver, fantasy, and in DFS, depending on the matchup too. He's the top 5 week in and week out if Foles is in there because the skill set's just better. He's accurate. Get a great receiver. Allen Robinson is a great receiver, extraordinarily physical talent. He's just great. Now you got an accurate quarterback. He's in there, man. 13 targets, 10 catches, 123 and a touchdown last week. I love me some Allen Robinson, man. Tyler Boyd against Jacksonville, 6-1 DK, 6K on FanDuel, 17 catches, 21 targets, 2 red zone targets the last 2 weeks. Let me go through that again. 21 targets, 17 catches, 2 red zone targets the last 2 weeks. Here's the salary relief guy. Now, a lot of people pivoted to AJ Green last week, and that's fine. He caught 5 of his 6 targets. Maybe he is involved in the offense still, but T. Higgins is my guy. They know each other from college, him and Burrow. 4-5 on DK, 5-3 on FanDuel. I really like him on DraftKings. Last 2 weeks, 8 catches, 15 targets, 4 red zone targets. Actually, that's why you could pay up even an extra $800 on FanDuel, possible touchdown equity. I know he hasn't done it much, but that connection looked awesome. Julian Edelman against Kansas City, 5-7 DK, 6-4 on FanDuel. 4 red zone targets, coming off a bad game. I'm fine with him. He'll be in the GPP pool this week. I mean, they got to keep up with Kansas City somehow. So it's going to be Cam and probably Edelman, maybe N'Keal Harry. Keenan Allen, 29 targets the last 2 weeks with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is DFS's best friend, a DFS player's best friend, because now Austin Eckler is worth something. Now Keenan Allen is worth something. It's amazing. Last 2 weeks with Herbert, 20 receptions and number 4 in air yards with 265. So where Tyrod would not check down and just throw to Mike Williams deep, we've got Herbert checking down to Eckler and throwing deep to Allen. Terry McLaurin against Baltimore, he's 7th in air yards, 2nd in yards after the catch with 181. He's just too explosive to pass up in GPPs. 8th in targets per game, has 3 red zone targets. I love McLaurin always. Here's my frown face, because we might not have Justin Jefferson. How about Justin Jefferson for Minnesota last week? The dude looked amazing. Him and Thielen. Again, once we find out what's going on with these teams and the COVID, we'll talk about them more. I'm not wasting my time right now. DJ Moore against Arizona could be a shootout, should be a shootout. Robbie Anderson's in play. Moore's in play. I'm not going with Curtis Samuel. I mean, if he's just not getting the volume these other 2 guys are getting. DJ Moore, 5-6 DK, 6-8 FanDuel. 22 targets the first 2 weeks, just 4 targets, 2 catches last week. That'll come back around. Robbie Anderson does get the red zone targets. He's 5-4 and 6-2. So he's cheaper on DK by $200. He's cheaper on FanDuel by $600. So I could see going either way there. You're going to have to make a decision for yourself who's safer. All right. Thanks to Captain for running this show behind the scenes. I'm Holden. Hit the like button. Follow me on Twitter at Holden Radio. And make sure you check out the other videos too. Quarterback, running back, and I'll have the tight ends out. If you don't see it yet, it'll be out on Wednesday. All All right. Thanks for checking out runpuresports.com, Run Pure Bets too. And I will catch you on another show later in the week.